I'm going to be matchmaking every single main card fighter that fought on UFC Sacramento this past weekend, starting with this guy that lost to Anthony Wint. I already forget his name, but he got a really short notice debut. Pretty unfair fight. They're probably just going to cut him, to be honest, but I say we give him a full camp against Louis Sutherland, see how decent he actually is, and if he could stick around in the UFC. Obviously, if he loses that one as well, then we can cut him. But if he beats Louis Sutherland, then he might actually have some potential in the UFC to do decent. And I think that would be a solid fight for heavyweight. So I think you could do that next. If they just cut him, I won't be disappointed, to be honest. Moving on, we got Anthony Wint. I think he should fight Guilherme Pat, coming off a close fight with the Beast Titan. I always forget his name because I just call him the Beast Titan every time. But Stephen Asplund, he's coming off a close fight with him. Round 3 TKO for Asplund, I'm pretty sure. So, good fight. He'll be able to actually test Anthony Wint. And if Anthony Wint can just blow through Pat and get a first-round knockout, then we could talk about giving him someone closer to the rankings and an actual step up in competition. But Pat does have the chance to, fraud check Anthony Wint early on. But I would probably pick Wint to get the TKO. Moving on, we got Gisela Chavez, easily beaten by Carly Judice. I think we give her Juliana Killer Miller. Miller fought not too long ago. I don't know if it was the last weekend before Sacramento or the one before that, maybe 2 weeks ago. But she's coming off of a win. She took Carly Judice to the third round in Judice's last fight, I think. So this could actually be a big fight or a tough fight for Chavez. But I think she would get it done. I think that she's a much higher level fighter. But Miller did better against Judice, so you never really know, especially with the women's fight. So I would probably pick, at this point, no, I would probably pick Chavez to get this done still. But I don't know. Miller, I might pick Miller. She's pretty good. She did better against Judice, that's for sure. Speaking of Judice, I think it's time she gets somebody ranked, and I think the winner of this is a perfect fight for her. These two are fighting at 331, and I think Eduardo Mora is probably going to win that. I think Mora's pretty good, but no matter who wins, I think Carly Judice should get the winner, a ranked opponent, both on a decently the same schedule. They should both winners should be looking to come back soon, or around the same time at least, and I think it would be a fun fight, and I think Carly Judice could get a ranked spot off one of these girls, and then she could start getting big matchups in the top 10, in the top 5. And yeah, moving on to this fight, I have been asking for this fight forever, since Jones's re-debut. I've been wanting this fight. This would be an insane scrap. And, now that Jones just got his chin finally cracked, this isn't as, one-sided as I once thought. Rebecca has been losing a lot more recently. I think he is coming off a win, to be fair. But Rebecca's usually in a lot of super entertaining wars, but lately it's been faster finishes and just he's been getting chinned a lot easier. And now that Jones just got chinned, I think it would be a fun scrap. It would always be a fun scrap, but both of these guys always put on banger fights, fight of the nights every single time, and I think this would be a super fun fight. I would probably still pick Mason Jones to win, but I don't know. After what happened to Medeiros, or with Medeiros, I think his chin could be gone, but you never know. He could come back. I think he's going to come back, and I want this to be the fight. I've been asking for this fight for so long now. Moving on to Markel Medeiros. Now, I wasn't going to make this fight for Medeiros if he lost, because I think Medeiros does deserve a lot more hype than he has. He's technically undefeated in the UFC, even though I thought Padilla beat him, or Padilla did beat him, and then they called it off. I don't know what happened there, but he's technically undefeated in the UFC. He deserves either a huge step up in competition, someone close to the rankings, or a big fight like John Pork. I think this would be a sick fight for him, because I think he could beat John Pork and steal all that hype. He just took a lot of hype from Mason Jones. I'm sure he's going to get a lot more respect, and people are going to start talking about Medeiros more anyways. But I think this would finally be the fight to get him in the mainstream. A lot of people talking about him. Or just a big fight close to the rankings could be fun for Medeiros as well. Moving on to Roman Dolidze. I think it's time Jimmy Crute gets a big fight, and Dolidze doesn't deserve to be anywhere near the rankings or anything like that. I don't know if Dolidze is staying at light heavyweight. I think he is. If he's going to middleweight, then you could give him honestly, give him Bo Nickel or something if he's going back down to middleweight. But I think we feed him to Jimmy Crute. Give Jimmy Crute a nice, easy win close to the rankings. And then, yeah, we can get... I just want to see Jimmy Crute closer to the rankings. I think that would be fun. And I think Roman Dolidze is the perfect, easy fight to give him to get him up there. Moving on to Rainier DeRitter. Now, I want you guys to let me know who you think DeRitter should be fighting, because I had no clue who to pick. I went with Bogdan Guskov. I think it would be a fun fight. I think Guskov could chin DeRitter, but I think the grappling could also cause a problem for Bogdan. So, I think it would be a fun fight, entertaining matchup stylistically. I also could see them doing not a Whitaker matchup, a Dominic Reyes matchup, but I want Whitaker to fight Reyes next, so that's how I would match up those two guys or those guys. But yeah, I don't know who they can give DeRitter. I think they put him at number 7 in the rankings, in the meta rankings, so he's only really behind Navajo Sterling, Khalil Roundtree, Costa, those guys, Yuri, Ankalaev. Those are the only really those are the only guys above him really, and that's kind of crazy. I don't think he should be ranked that high. So I do think his next fight he's gonna be fighting down the rankings. But if they do want to give him someone up the rankings, someone like Khalil, I think it'd be a bad idea. I think he loses to everyone above him, and I think he probably loses to most of the people below him. But I do like DeRitter, and I think this is a winnable fight for him. I think Reyes could be a winnable fight for him. And, yeah, hopefully he gets more comfortable at light heavyweight. It was a great win against Dolidze, but it was Roman Dolidze, so you never really know. Moving on to Sergey Spivak. He is... I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know what I was going to say there, but he's a pretty good fighter. I think this would be a good fight. Mario Pinto and Ryan Spann are fighting soon. I don't really know when, but I know this is a matchup that's coming up. And I think the winner of this should get a decent step up, especially if it's Pinto. I think Pinto's probably going to win the fight, and I think he deserves somebody higher ranked like Spivak, a big step up, big test, and I think he could get that win. I think he could definitely get the win, and I think it would be really fun having Pinto up there in the top 10 of the division. I don't know how far Spivak fell in the rankings, but I think he should still be ranked in the top 10, somewhere like that. So Mario Pinto versus Sergey Spivak. If Ryan Spann can get it done, maybe he doesn't really deserve a Spivak matchup, but I could still see it being a fun fight. Sorry about the train if you hear that. Moving on to Vitor Petrino. Now, I don't know when. I think it's one of these big matchups, 333, 332, one of those big cards. But Volkov is fighting Rizvan Kuniev. I think the loser of this should fight Vitor Petrino, because the winner of that obviously is going to be in a very big position. Probably the number 1 contender if it's Volkov, especially because I think Volkov is the number 1 contender. So a win there from Kuniev could shoot him up the rankings insanely. But I think the loser should fight Petrino. The loser will be coming off a loss in a number 1 contender fight, and it'll be a big matchup still for Petrino. And that matchup would get him in the top 5. A win there would get him in the top 5. I don't know if he would beat any of these guys, but I think Volkov beats both of these guys. But Kuniev versus Petrino would be a fun fight, and I don't know who I would pick in that one. I would want Petrino to win, though. Moving on to Anthony Hernandez, losing the main event in an absolute war. 6 scrap, but he got cooked and dominated by Gregory Rodriguez. And I think this would be a fun fight for both guys. Usman, he said he's planning on retiring, I think, after the Dricus fight, or he was thinking about it. I hope he doesn't. I hope he comes back, and I hope he stays at middleweight. The welterweight division is just kind of like packed right now, and there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of like entertaining guys going on down there. The only fun fight I could see really for Usman, like grappling wise, down there would be Sean Brady. Or Bilal. I would love the Bilal fight actually for Usman. That's always been. I still want that fight, but if he plans on staying at middleweight, I think Anthony Hernandez is a sick fight. And yeah, I think it'd be fun. The grappling exchanges would be super fun. The striking exchanges would probably be pretty fun. I think Hernandez would probably win on the feet though, but the grappling would be super entertaining to watch. And this is the fight I want to see next, probably early next year. I doubt we see Hernandez back this year after a war like that, and I doubt we see Usman back in the next like fucking decade anyways. So, moving on to Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. He looked fantastic in the main event, and he's going to be getting a big step up. I don't know if Joe Pyfer is going to be... I don't know if they're rebooking the matchup with Kyle Borralho. I think one of them got injured, so they couldn't do that fight. But if they do Joe Pyfer versus Borralho, I think the winner of that should fight RoboCop. I think that would be a sick fight. But yeah, RoboCop versus Joe Pyfer or Borralho, or the winner of them fighting. Any of those would be sick. I know he called out Dricus. I don't think he should get that fight. But yeah, I think this fight would be super fun. I think Kyle Borralho would be super fun. If they do Joe Pyfer versus Kyle soon, then they can just do the winner of that versus RoboCop, which would also be really fun. And yeah, I don't know who I'd pick to win in this fight. Both power punchers. I think it would be a really entertaining matchup. And I think you could do it on like the main card of a pay-per-view. It doesn't need to be a fight night main event. I doubt this would go past the third round. So you don't need to make it a 5-round fight, but it would probably be a fight night main event somewhere. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of the matchups. I will see you hopefully next week. Yeah, I should be back. I'll see you guys next week for the matchups for the Umar versus Song Yadong card. Have a great night.